Arguably the most advanced part of tech nowadays in PC gaming is CPUs. Modern CPUs are so fast that they basically have an unlimited bottleneck all the time with most GPUs of the same range. So a high-end CPU is gonna easily max out even an RTX 5090. However, where things get even crazier is on the lower end. A very entry-level CPU, modern CPU, is gonna absolutely max out an entry-level to mid-range GPU, which is why today I'm here to bring you guys a build with a very underrated combo, in my opinion, and that is the Ryzen 5 7600 non-X with an RTX 5060. Around here, we don't love the RTX 5060, okay? I'm bringing this card just because it's brand new and a lot of people want frame gen, the new DLSS and all the latest features. Of course, an RX 9060 XT or a lot better, a used RTX 3070 or 3080 is gonna be a much better pairing for the CPU because this thing is really fast. So let's start by showing you the CPU-Z score with this CPU tuned. What I mean by tuned is really, it's so simple to tweak a Ryzen 5 7600. Basically, everything you need to do is fully unlock its power limit and get some 6000 MHz low latency RAM. Now it doesn't have to be super low. In this case, I went with some XPG 6000 MHz CL30 RAM, nothing crazy, but it's gonna work every time, even on lower end motherboards like the one I have here today. Now, if you really are a follower of the channel, you know I will actually argue that you guys go ahead and buy some Chinese AliExpress motherboard. I have a lot reviewed. My favorite at the moment has to be the Qingyue, all of the Qingyue lineup, so check those out. But this gaming PC here I built for a very mainstream audience, is actually gonna be sold. So this is a better combo with a more known brand motherboard. But if you guys are building it, please get a no-name motherboard. It's gonna be a lot better and deliver actually more performance than this. So what you guys can do is just fully lock the power limit, enable the XMP, and then undervolt your CPU and slightly tweak your RAM. I have guides for undervolts and RAM tweaking on the channel, of course. It's what we do most, even though my job is PC building, my passion and the focus of the channel is undervolting, overclocking, those things. But just by the CPU-Z score alone, you can see just how fast this CPU is. And the thing is, it's gonna max out 5060 easily at 1080p high refresh rate. The higher you go in resolution, the more the GPU is gonna get maxed out. So we are testing 1080p because it's the worst case scenario for our CPU. So if it maxes it out there, it's gonna be easy work at higher res. Now, to complete the build we have here today, I then went with a nice Kingston NV3, staple of the channel. You know, I think it's the best value NVMe out there. And we then got cheap power supply, because the thing is, if you're building a similar combo, or even if you're getting a 3080 up to, or even a 4070, even better, a 650 watts 80 plus bronze PSU from a good brand is gonna be plenty. So I have this Deepcool here, PK650D. It's a great PSU, been using it for a while, off camera in my builds, and I recommend it to you guys. It also has ATX 3.1 compatibility. It's nice PSU. And we also went with a beefy air cooler. So it's the Enermax ETS TD60D. And now why we went with this, it's not just for aesthetics, but I have to admit, okay, by adding a cooler, which is gonna cost you guys less than 50 bucks. Since this one also has a display on it where we can display CPU temperature, GPU temperature, RPMs and stuff, the PC is gonna sell so much faster. So it's also for aesthetics, I'm not gonna lie. If you guys are running your stuff at stock, you can use the stock cooler and be fine, okay? But I really recommend you guys tweak your CPU, and the extra thermal headroom is gonna be needed because even though Ryzen has a low TDP, it does draw up a lot of power if fully unlocked, okay? Don't let it fool you. On the full load, stock cooler is not enough, okay, if you want to get the maximum out of it. This is a good aesthetic addition and actually gets you more performance. By the way, Enermax did a great job with this cooler. It's a dual tower cooler with RGB just on the front fan, digital, very easy to install, took me just a few minutes. This thing, fully recommended for me, and so is the case. Now, focusing on the build a little bit, if you're going with this combo, Ryzen 5 7600 and then whatever GPU you may find, make sure you don't overspend on your case. Now, if you're going air-cooled, okay, airflow is not going to be as important for this combo because, again, 5060 doesn't draw any power, but if you're going with 3080, a little bit of extra cooling is not going to hurt. So this case, it's the LC Power Gaming 717W. This This is great. LC Power in Europe, because I'm from Italy, is probably the best value maker for cases at the moment, one off for sure. The problem is, you guys have told me you have difficulties getting it outside of Europe, so try to check if you can get one of these. This one is insane, it's super cheap. It's around 80 bucks, even less, with 3 RGB fans, very good airflow, like crazy good airflow, 140s on the front, RGB, included controller. It's nice looking traditional case. I know a lot of people will prefer an aquarium-like case, so if you do prefer an aquarium-like case, I understand, they're also cheaper. I covered them on the channel, but I actually made a video about why fish tank cases are kind of ruining the market for PC gaming. So I really like a traditional case personally. But back on topic, if you have the properly built computer and if you tweak it right, here is the performance you can expect. So check out this Apex Legends gameplay, latest update, okay? And we are fully maxing out 300 FPS, 1080p with competitive settings, not even the lowest settings, just competitive, with higher field of view, you know, details high where we need them, texture high, and we're still locking out 300. If you're playing competitively, okay, if you're landing, you're not gonna get 300 FPS, but if you are in-game and you landed, it's gonna be 300 locked, which means you can play on a 240 Hz monitor very well competitively with a Ryzen 5 7600, which is kind of insane. But even more insane is Warzone. So Warzone is heavy, or at least it used to be. Well, I don't know if it's the 5060 just running great on it, but check out this performance. This is 1080p, competitive settings, again, not the lowest, just competitive settings. And we can play at 240 Hz on Warzone on a Ryzen 5, if tweaked. Because listen, the tweaks on CPU and GPU, they make a massive difference. We are talking 30% more performance if you do both, and if you do them right, and if you have good RAM. So that matters a lot. But if you do that, it's gonna be worth it. And I think like you can put together a PC like this with a bit less aesthetics, but really even something like this, brand new, if you build it yourself for easily under 1,000 bucks, but by far under 1,000 bucks, you know? You can probably pay, I mean, 600-700 bucks to build something like this, and you're gonna max out 1080p. This is actually some proper good value on the brand new entry level, and with stuff you can buy on Amazon. So you don't have to go on the used market like I do and just buy the best you can. You know, you can just build it and play. This is nice. So with that said, let me know what you guys think about the combo, if you think it's underrated, or if you think my regular Ryzen 7 7700 bought from AliExpress is a better pick overall. Let me know down below. And if you have other combos which you think I should try, also drop a comment. And if you watched the video this far, maybe subscribe, drop a like so I can keep doing this. And see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.